How does FairTradeTranslation translate and price an XLIFF or SDLXLIFF file? This sample SDLXLIFF file contains various types of segments. Segments that have been translated by a machine translation engine, like this segment and this one. High fuzzy translation memory matches that have been translated or that have been approved by a professional translator. Some may be locked, some may be 75% or lower fuzzy matches, and so on. Segments that have no machine translations and no translation memory matches. This SDLXLIFF file looks like a typical job a translator may receive from her customer, or a document that she created herself by pre-translating a Word document file with a translation memory and MT engine. When translating an SDLXLIFF file, you don't need to specify the source and target languages, as they are defined in the file you'll drag and drop into the file container. When FairTradeTranslation analyzes this file, it determines that 18 words need to be translated from scratch, and 30 have good enough target translations or translation memory matches to be post-edited. The fair price for the job is calculated based on two components: your full word price for translation and your price for post-editing high fuzzy matches. You can see how the overall price for which you should be happy to do the job varies by modifying one or two of the price components. FairTradeTranslation will just recalculate your personalized fair trade price using the word counts for these two components. When you download and open the processed file, you can see that high fuzzies, locked segments, and segments that have been approved by a human translator have not been touched. For all other segments, FairTradeTranslation determines what translation is the best among the pre-translation provided in the input file and translations produced by Bing, Google, and SDL. If the best translation is as good as a high fuzzy match, it will be included into the result file. If not, it will not be included. As a registered user, you can change the default settings to reflect your working style. For instance, you can indicate you want the low-quality translations to be included into the result file, even when they are not good enough to post-edit. Let's quickly retranslate the same file with the modified settings and see the difference. The machine-translated segment that was removed before is now part of the output. You can use the personalization setting default to further customize the manner in which FairTradeTranslation processes files for you. Via the Job History interface, you can upload back to FairTradeTranslation a translation job once you've finalized it. As soon as FairTradeTranslation receives your completed translation, it adjusts the internal parameter settings associated with your account so that it can be more supportive of your future post-editing work and bids. You can see what FairTradeTranslation has learned from your work when you refresh the page and hover over this icon. For this job, you could barely take advantage of the empty outputs given to you, so it is likely that FairTradeTranslation included too much MT and the price estimate for the job was too low. In this case, FairTradeTranslation will update its internal parameters to send you less MT next time.